in color, the continuing story of Peyton Place. Starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Ryan O'Neal as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington, Patricia Morrow as Rita Harrington, James Douglas as Stephen Cord.
Despite the fact that his wife, Sandy, has filed for divorce, he's convinced she still belongs to him, but she is still private property. He knows that some months ago, Sandy and Rodney Harrington met while he sat in a jail cell. Now, Sandy is dating Rodney Harrington openly. The private property is no longer his.
Good evening, Mr. Harrington.
Good evening. Two for dinner?
I'll have a table for you in just a moment.
Thank you.
There. Now, clumsy of me.
Wainwright and Kinnerly?
Yes. Oh, Kinnerly has some very nice things to say about you.
We did?
We got into quite a skirmish at the airport over this document.
And you won, of course, your skirmish over the document.
Uh-huh. This is a victory celebration for all of us, since the decision I made will affect the future of my family. In fact, I was just about to propose a toast.
You were about to propose a toast. Unless, since this is something that affects the entire family, you'd like your other grandson to join us, I'd be glad to extend your invitation to Rodney and his guest.
Rodney.
Oh, hello, Grandfather.
Why don't you join us?
Oh, well, thank you, but
Oh, nonsense. I'm sure this charming young lady doesn't want you to deny me the pleasure of her company.
Well, it's up to Rod.
No, my dear. It's up to us.
Okay.
Rod? Steve? Sandy?
Hi. Hello.
Well, you all know each other. That's good. It saves me the boredom of introduction. Stephen, could you find a few chairs for our guests? No. Right here, beside me.
Here, puppy.
Chandler. I just asked him point blank if he'd seen Rachel out of Hastings Valley, that's all.
And?
Well, aside from the fact that he resented my asking, that's all there was to it.
Oh, excuse me. Pup didn't drink his milk, huh? Oh, I can't find him. I don't know where he is. I've been calling and whistling for him.
Oh, honey, he must be around here somewhere. I took one of Matthew's stuffed rabbits away from him just about half an hour ago.
Well, he's not in the house. But he might be across the street. I'm going to go look for him. Put your coat on, huh? All right.
Imagine that. That little pup chewed one whole ear off one of those stuffed rabbits. One Betty gave him to. We sure needed that pup.
Elliot? Will you stand still long enough to talk to me? I want to know what you feel about Chandler. I've Obviously, you have suspicions. You wouldn't have questioned him.
Darling, there's nothing mysterious about it. It's that Rachel went out to the farmhouse from Norman and Rita's apartment, and I just wanted to know whether Chandler was out there with her, that's all. And I told you, you know.
Yes, but what do you think? I mean, what do you think really happened when she got there?
I don't know what happened. I tried to find out, but I couldn't get anywhere.
Elliot.
Look, Rachel is safe. She's back here with us. Why don't we just let it that way?
Well, you're keeping something from me.
I don't know anything more about this than you do.
That's not what I mean. You're trying to protect me, and so you're not sharing your feelings or your fears. But it's not protecting me, Elliot. In a way, it's deceiving me.
I know, but... All right. I'm sorry. I am afraid. I'm very much afraid. When I went out there to that farmhouse, there were signs of a struggle out there. Window was broken. Furniture had been knocked over. And he'd been out there all right. He didn't deny that.
Do you think they were there at the same time?
Yes, I do. He doesn't act like an uncle to her. I'm sure of that now. He has an obsession for that girl. I don't know how he got her out there. But once she found out what he was up to, she must have put up a terrific fight.
She's so young and helpless and innocent. Allison. That man, Chandler. Do you think the same thing happened to Allison?
Oh, darling,
You do? You think that man had something to do with Allison? Something awful.
There's no proof of that, you know that.
But that's what you think, isn't it?
Yes. That's what I'm afraid of. I don't know, darling. Don't you see, I don't really know.
He's lost. I've been up and down both sides of the street and across on the other side, and he's just disappeared. He'll turn up, Rachel, when he gets hungry. No, you don't understand. He's gone. I didn't even get the chance to give him a name, and now he's lost.
Now, don't be upset. We'll find him. We'll take the car, and we'll scour the whole neighborhood. Come on, I'll get my coat.
Oh, it's so cold outside. I hate to think of him being out there all alone.
Well, I don't know about that. He's probably having a whee of a time while here we are worried to death about him. Come on, let's go out and find him. Darling, will you be all right?
I'll be all right.
Or call 555-3251.
I saw the light and took a chance I'd find you working.
I see. That's a pretty safe bet. Here, Rachel. Take this in the Jerry. Tell him I said put it at the top of this lost and found column.
Thank you.
Rachel? Rachel Wells, Chandler's niece.
Elliot, I've given your request a good deal of consideration. As you know, the mill has an ironclad rule against letting outsiders consult their personnel records.
And you can't for the life of you see how you can break that rule.
I decided to make an exception.
Oh. On what grounds?
Well, I do owe you something. I allowed you to sit in a prison cell.
Forget it. That's in the past.
That makes me feel my indebtedness even more strongly. What's the matter?
Well, I thought it might be because you'd begun to share my feelings about Chandler.
It's a girl's word against his.
Then you've questioned Chandler about it.
He seems genuinely concerned about her welfare. Here, I know I don't have to ask you to treat this as highly confidential. If you should uncover anything out of the ordinary about Chandler's past, that would put an entirely different color on the matter.
You still feel positively about the man, don't you?
If he is hiding something shady, I promise you I'll be the first to get rid of him. I may not share your concern, but I can certainly appreciate it. After all, your daughter and Rodney were... Well, whatever I can do to help, anything that might be a clue to Allison's disappearance, I'll do all I can. You have my word.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Let me ask you something, Elliot. If you took a job with the company and you had to fill out a routine personnel report, and there was something in your past, would you give yourself away?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that myself. But you see, all I need is a name, a reference. Any shred of something will lead me to something else and then to something else, you see.
Well, I can't conceal my curiosity. Go ahead, take a look. See if anything rings a bell.
Well, my grandfather was in rare form tonight, wasn't he?
Yeah. As soon as he and Mr. and Mrs. Cord got up from the table, he turned around and smiled at me. He was really getting his kicks.
And for an encore, he should have pulled the tablecloth out from under the dishes. Presto.
Yeah, he's tough.
No, Sandy, he's just proving a point, crudely. He's saying, see, Rodney, you see how Stephen has grown into a man. You see how well he brushes his hair and how nicely he eats his meal. And you're...
Turning into a slob.
I think you mean that.
I do mean it. You're turning into a slob. You're dating me, aren't you?
Cut it out. Andy. This is my father in his room.
I didn't see Mr. Harrington go out. Do you want to use the house phone?
I'm gonna go outside. I think I need some fresh air.
Sandy. Just came back to talk to you. I left old man Peyton and the cords over at the judge's house. Took a chance that they were going to stay there for a while, you know. I took a gamble on my job, honey, just to come back and have the pleasure of touching you.
Let me go.
What are you doing here?
I can go where I want to now.
You don't belong here, sweetheart. Especially with Rodney.
What I do and who I do it with is none of your business.
Well, I'm making it my business. Somebody's got to set you straight, Sandy. That guy doesn't care anything about you. All he's interested in is kicks. I'm not through yet. Now, he probably thought it was a big joke taking you into the inn. Golden boy and the hash slinger from the cider barrel. Wise up, Sandy. All he wants you for is a couple of laughs.
Are you through yet?
I've got your best interest at heart. I don't want to see you get hurt, Sandy.
Well, then leave me alone.
You're in luck, Golden Boy. I've got to get back to old man Peyton.
I was kind of hoping you'd throw that first punch, Rodney. Because now I owe you something, boy.
And when I owe Golden Boy, I pay.